Hello, investors and traders, and welcome to the Midweek Report. I'm AJ Monte, Chief Technical Analyst with Sticky Trades, and let's get right to work. As you can see here from this daily candle chart of DIA, we hit my downside target there, 388.67, and towards the end of the day, we had a little bit of a bounce. You can see here in the 5-minute chart, we had a little bit of a bounce right up into the close. But look what's happening in the after hours for DIA. They're tanking it in the after hours. You see, so be really careful if you are long coming into tomorrow. We still have a gap below the market right here that I think will fill by Friday, and then we'll have to see whether or not we bounce off of the gap fill support level, which absolutely coincides with that 20-period moving average. So that is the diamond. You can see that the CCI and the stochastic are still heading lower, showing downside momentum. Now, if we look at IWM, very interesting because for most of the day, we had a green candle, and this is the first red candle showing up after this long stretch of green. That's known as a stale green light. I am keeping that downside target on IWM at 197.41. Most likely we won't hit that by Friday, but you never know. I will continue that downside target into next week if need be. I just want to show something to all of you here. You see, these are former price targets that we have. You can see that this upside target was hit, but this downside target is still in force. So this is one that's still open. So you have this target was hit, this downside target was hit, that upside target was hit, the downside target was hit, go on and on, upside hit, downside hit, upside hit, downside hit. So 9 out of the 11 have hit. Now I talk about that quite a bit because 9 out of 11 hitting give you an 82% hit rate. But when you look at the overall equities that I've been tracking over, 3 years now, we have an 83% hit rate on average for price targets. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is because in the coming days, we are putting out a new service to our members where our member page is going to have a little bit of a box where you can type in your ticker symbol, ABCD ticker, whatever it is. And what the system is going to do, it's going to identify the number of times that I've made a forecast on that and the number of times that the stock has hit the price targets. So you're going to see with your own eyes the evidence of how well these charts work. So stand by. I will be giving you a snapshot of what this screen looks like for our members. And if you're interested in being part of our Sticky Trade community, go right ahead and ping us on stickytrades.com. So that downside target again is going to stay for IWM. Now for the Qs, we have a very close call with a hit here. I'm keeping that downside target of 432.10. I think that could hit tomorrow. One of the large cap stocks, UNH, got slammed today. That's one of the mega cap stocks. And I think we're going to see a continued fallout from that and some of the other stocks that are the mega cap, the big ones. These are the biggest, baddest stocks on Wall Street. They're under pressure right now, and I think that's going to add some pressure on the Qs. We also have this open gap below the market that I think eventually will fill as well. So that is the target for the Qs. Again, to reiterate what that is 432.10. That brings me to SPY. We have a downside target. We have a pivot. We have a cross right here. Look down below, CCI, my favorite oscillator of all time. That has officially crossed today with a sell signal. Now, the stochastic is a hair away from crossing. I think that too could hit tomorrow. So my downside target on SPY is 498.67, so it's still in place. I have not moved that. That brings us to the VIX. And what do we have here? We did get the pullback, but that gap is still open. So what we have here on the VIX is it's caught or sandwiched between two gaps. This whole area down here for the VIX is going to act as support. And look what happened today. We had a pivot higher. we may not fill that gap on the downside right away. Eventually, I think it will, but maybe not right away. I think we are on the move to move up closer to 16 on the VIX. So stand by. We have a lot going on in the news. We could even see the possibility of a government shutdown on Friday. We've got the Fed window is going to be closing up. I think it's March 11th, if I'm not mistaken. We got earnings coming out. We got a lot of tension. We got the billionaires that are selling out of position. Jeff Bezos. We got Zuckerberg. We got the Walton family selling out of billions of shares of the Walmart stock. So something is up. There's a lot of pressure. Be really careful. And the VIX is telling us that the fear is starting to creep in. That's what that pivot means right there. A higher low, higher high is a pivot on the VIX. Now I'm going to throw a couple more out there. SLV, many of you know from following on my X page, I bought all my shares back. I'm 100% back in. I would be most likely a seller up around the 21.5 level. So stay tuned to X. You can follow me there and track my trades by using hashtag AJSLV trades. Now finally, look at Bitcoin. This is pretty amazing. /BTC. We have officially hit my upside target. Again, I post this on X. This was my price target of 60,000. I left that in place. We have now officially hit it. Now, for those of you that are in crypto or in Bitcoin, look what's happening. We're starting to pull back from this resistance area. See this candle today? That has a long shadow on top. That means we had selling coming in, and if you look at the daily chart, it's going to be even more severe when you look at the daily. Look at the shadow on this daily candle right there. See that? That's known as a shooting star. And the oscillators are starting to turn. Stochastic is starting to turn lower, and the CCI is extremely overbought. Now, I'm going to throw one more thing out there because I love Fibonacci retracements. Right? I'm going to give you a little lesson on Fibonacci golden ratios and the sequence, right? If I take this low and connect it to today's high, here's my short-term forecast on Bitcoin. I think we're going to pull right back to the 50% retracement level, which brings us to 57,571. An odd number, but I'm putting a new downside target on that. So I think it could pull back about $3,000 from here. So for any of you that are in there, you might want to even think about protecting your profits at this point. So I'm throwing that out there with SLV and wishing you the best of luck for those of you that are trading Bitcoin. I'm not trading it. I'm just forecasting it because a lot of people ask for it. So again, go to stickytrades.com, plug into my X page so you can see what I'm doing with regard to live trades. And remember, tonight's Wednesday. I have the rapid fire stock analysis session where for 1 hour, my goal is to analyze 60 stocks in rapid fire format in 60 minutes. We did that last week, came up with some great trade candidates, a lot of star favorites, and we had an action-packed hour. So we're going to be repeating that again from 6 to 7. Hope to catch you there. So long.